I think historically that Portland has always been a very strong dissonant voice, and I think it's just kind of historical to Portland culture to not back down no matter how hard the pushback is.
People are seeing it, but it's like there's still nothing being done about it. We just want change.
We have to stand up right now and do something about it, man. We can't sit silent while our rights are just being taken away one by one. Portland been going hard, man. I mean, you know, they chased the Black Panthers up here in the 60s. You know what I mean? Like, ever since then, we've been a very revolutionary city, and we've always kept it revolutionary. You know, that's always been in the fabric of the city since then.
We're not rioting because we're mad or wilding out. We're protesting. They're starting the riots. All it takes is one little thing of tear gas or a chair to get thrown for a whole fucking riot to start. At the end of the day, that's the perception they want because they want us to be seen as animals. They're trying to demonize everything we're doing because we stand in for something that we believe in. If you really want to see what's happening, look at the people that come out to these protests daily, because there's people that do lives and take pictures and show things, and they show how peaceful it is. You could look on Fox and CNN, and you can see a whole bunch of lies or miscrewed truth. But if you ain't out here in these streets or talking to the people in these streets, you ain't gonna never get the real answers.
Anyone that comes to the protest after they've been, you know, brainwashed by the news, they find out this is just humans, you know, from many different walks of life, you know, they just don't want to sit down on the sidelines while people are being killed off, while people's rights are being abused. You know, the federal government, what they're doing right now, you know, they've been doing, and they do that around the globe, you know. So America's getting its taste, but Portland isn't going to stand up for it, man. It's, you know, big me, little you. It's how can I take your rights away one by one? How can I divide the people? How can I make, you know, white people hate black people? How can I make, you know, the Christians hate the Muslims? You know, how can we divide and conquer? And it's just the same thing that, you know, our people have been going through forever.
The federal government's response is complete horse. It's pretty clear that this is a direct link to immediate fascism in America, an amalgamated force of federal agents coming in unmarked vehicles with no badge numbers, not identifying themselves, taking you in their van. It's really scary. It's straight Nazi tactics. You know, as scary as it is that these are folks that aren't trained to deal with protesters, they're trained for military warfare and to kill people. So that's obviously really terrifying, but the fact that they are not trained for this and they are very much bumping heads with the local police department and kind of running around like chickens with their heads cut off, which is funny but also terrifying because they get mocked for it, and that makes them become immediately more aggressive.
It makes your eyes really burn. It's hard to breathe, and you can't see anything, and you really can't hear anything. I mean, there's just too much going on.
This is much bigger than Ted Wheeler. I think that this was over Ted Wheeler's head. I think that Ted Wheeler hasn't done his job. I think that they're right to say Ted Wheeler. I just think that, you know, at the end of the day, we're dealing with some really deep systemic issues, and we need to be looking at who's actually pulling the strings, not the puppets on the other end of them. We're standing up for our rights, for peace, love, and justice. We would much rather you stop them from gassing us than get gassed with us.
Feeling pretty angry, feeling pretty scared of our future, considering outside of this unprecedented racial movement, we're also amidst the pandemic. So it's still kind of scary being around strangers, but I think the passion for social change and social justice kind of drives fear out. I think this ends only by police abolition. You know, we've tried police reform years after years, like the police wearing body cameras was one of the last implementations of police reform, but as we've seen, that just doesn't work. Police take off their body cameras and live with impunity. And, you know, I think the abolishment of prisons and jails needs to go hand in hand with the abolishment of police.
Movement's not dying, you know. We've been going hard here in Portland for weeks, for months, and every night there's a lot of energy, man. You know, being a person of color, being a Chicano, Mexican American, I just wanted to be out here and show solidarity against the federal government and show unity with, you know, our black brothers and sisters. There's not much that could scare us at this point, you know. We just all have our NLG numbers written on our forearms, and, you know, if they snatch us, they snatch us. We know our rights, you know, we know who to call, we know not to talk, so we know what we got to do.
Right now, what you're seeing is a very small revolution compared to what you're about to see.
This is the prologue to the real fight. This has just begun.
Now, more important than ever, as our country teeters into complete fascism, it's really important for everyone that's able to come out and speak their message, make their voice be heard.
Defund the police, abolish ICE, Black Lives Matter, and power to the people.